Do you find it hard? Do you find it hard to remember names that used to come to you easily? Do you have to pause a little longer to find a word? Or do you sometimes walk into a room and for a moment forget what you went in for? If that is happening to you, you are not alone. It is more common than you might think. But that does not mean you should accept it without doing anything. As the years go by, memory can start to play against us. Not because we are sick, but because the brain, like everything else in the body, also ages. However, there is a huge difference between aging and deteriorating. And the good news is that there are things you can do every day to keep your mind awake, agile, and attentive, even after 60, 70 or more. Today, I will share the advice of an expert. Dr. Manuel Cáceres is a neurologist with more than 30 years of experience caring for older adults who want to keep their memory active and their mind clear. Throughout his career, he has researched the impact of diet on cognitive function and has reached a clear conclusion. What you eat can be a powerful tool to protect your memory. In this video, you will discover which are the 3 fruits that Dr. Cáceres recommends eating every day to improve your memory naturally. They are fruits you can easily find at your market or supermarket, and they could make a real difference if you make them part of your daily routine. Before we begin, I would like to get to know you a little better. Tell me in the comments how old you are and from which country or city you are watching me. That way I will know who I am talking to and I can think of you while I share these tips. Now then, let us begin. Why we lose memory with age? A simple explanation. As the years pass, many people notice that their memory is not the same as it used to be, and that is normal. In fact, it is one of the most frequent changes in old age. But why does it happen? What is really going on inside the brain when we start to forget? Over time, the brain also ages, just like muscles, bones, or skin. One of the first things that happens is that the connections between neurons, those tiny cells that form our network of thoughts, begin to decrease. They do not disappear all at once, but they do become slower and less efficient. It is as if the path between one idea and another became longer and narrower. Another reason has to do with blood flow. The brain needs a constant supply of blood rich in oxygen and nutrients to function well. But as we age, the arteries harden, the flow decreases, and little by little some areas of the brain receive less than they need. That can directly affect memory, concentration, and thinking speed. In addition, there is a third factor that almost nobody talks about: chronic inflammation. Over the years, the body accumulates small inflammatory processes that do not cause fever or obvious pain, but that slowly damage brain cells. This silent inflammation especially affects short-term memory, which is what we use to remember what we were about to do, what someone told us a few minutes ago, or where we left the keys. The most common symptoms are the same ones you or someone close to you may be feeling: mild but annoying forgetfulness, not remembering the name of someone familiar, forgetting an important date, not finding the exact word while you speak, or repeating a story without realizing that you told it not long ago. And here it is very important to make a clarification. This does not mean that you have dementia or Alzheimer's. Many older people believe that any forgetfulness is a sign of something serious, and that is not always the case. Most of these lapses are a natural part of the aging process. But, and this is the most important point, it is possible to slow this decline, and in many cases, even slightly reverse it. How? With daily habits that help protect the brain. And one of the most important is diet. It may sound simple, but what we eat every day has a direct impact on how the brain works. Some foods harm, but others nourish, protect, and strengthen neurons. And within that list of natural allies, there are 3 particular fruits that the neurologist Dr. Cáceres recommends to keep memory strong, even after 70. If you could choose only one fruit to take care of your memory, Dr. Cáceres is clear. It would be blueberries. At first glance, they look small and simple, but inside those dark spheres lies one of the most powerful foods to protect the brain from aging. That is why many brain health experts refer to blueberries as the brain's food. What is special about them? Blueberries are rich in something called flavonoids, especially a type known as anthocyanins. These substances are powerful natural antioxidants that help combat oxidative stress, one of the main enemies of brain cells. Oxidative stress is like a kind of slow, constant corrosion that weakens our neurons over time. Flavonoids act like a shield that protects the brain from that wear and tear. Several scientific studies have shown that older adults who regularly consume blueberries have better verbal and spatial memory. In other words, they remember names, words, routes, and places better. In an experiment conducted with people over 70, those who ate blueberries every day for 12 weeks showed a significant improvement in their to concentrate and in mental speed compared to those who did not eat them. But the benefits do not stop there. Blueberries also help improve blood flow to the brain, which translates into a mind that is more awake and alert. In addition, their anti-inflammatory effect helps prevent the progressive memory loss that many experience with age. One of Dr. Caceres' patients, Mrs. Teresa, began including blueberries in her breakfast every morning. She used to see them as something expensive and trendy, but after adding them with a little plain yogurt and oats, she noticed not only more energy, but that it was easier to concentrate while reading or to remember simple tasks during the day. How can you include them? The simplest way is to eat half a cup of blueberries daily, fresh if you find them, or frozen if you prefer to store them longer. You can add them to breakfast, use them in smoothies with banana and spinach, or simply eat them on their own as a healthy snack between meals. Consistency is what matters. Eating blueberries one day and not the next is not the same as keeping up a daily sustained intake. As Dr. Caceres says, it is not a miracle fruit, but a daily dose of health that quietly adds up. Fruit number 2, purple grapes, the mind's natural tonic. The second fruit that Dr. Caceres wholeheartedly recommends to care for memory is as delicious as it is easy to find, purple grapes. Beyond their sweet flavor and juicy texture, these small fruits hide a powerful secret in their skin: resveratrol. This natural compound has been studied for years for its effects on heart health. But what many do not know is that it also has a direct impact on the brain. Resveratrol acts as a protector of neurons. It helps reduce brain inflammation, fights free radicals, and, most importantly, improves blood flow to the brain. When there is more blood, there is more oxygen, more nutrients, and therefore more capacity to focus, think, and remember. One of the best-known studies, published by the University of Berlin, showed that older people who took resveratrol supplements for 3 months displayed improvements in their ability to concentrate and in short-term memory, especially in tasks that required mental quickness and agility to recall lists of words or numbers. But you do not need to buy supplements. The best natural source of resveratrol is still whole purple grapes, especially with their skin. Mr. Luis, a 78-year-old patient of Dr. Caceres, has a curious habit he never gave up. Every afternoon, he sits in his favorite armchair, opens a book, and serves himself a handful of purple grapes. He does not eat them all at once. He takes them one by one as he moves through his reading. He says that ritual, which combines reading with nutrition, has been his best daily brain exercise. Grapes keep me awake, he says, and the book keeps me alive. Besides resveratrol, purple grapes contain polyphenols, another family of antioxidants that help protect brain cells from daily wear and tear. How should you eat them? The most recommended way is to eat them whole, with their skin, which is where the highest concentration of resveratrol is found. You can eat them as a snack, mix them into a fruit salad, or even add them to a leafy green salad with walnuts. Another option is to make a natural juice without sugar, but always in moderation. Remember that when you blend them, you lose some of the fiber and concentrate the natural sugars. That is why it is better to prefer them whole and unpeeled. A serving of between 10 and 15 grapes a day is enough to provide their benefits without affecting your blood sugar level, especially if you pair them with fiber-rich foods or healthy fats, such as oats or plain yogurt. In short, purple grapes are much more than a sweet dessert. They are a simple, affordable, and tasty tool to improve your memory and keep your mind clearer and more focused every day. And now, get ready for the third fruit, which you probably do not expect. Many people do not even consider it a fruit, but it contains healthy fats and compounds that feed your brain directly. Let us take a look. Fruit number 3, avocado, the food that lubricates your mind. Although many people do not know it, the avocado is a fruit, and not just any fruit. It is one of the most complete and beneficial for the brain that exists, according to neurologist Dr. Manuel Caceres. Most people see it as a vegetable or a fat, but the truth is that, botanically, it is a fruit, and one that the brain deeply appreciates. Unlike other fruits, the avocado is neither sweet nor juicy, and it is not low in calories. But that difference is precisely what makes it an exceptional food to care for the mind in adulthood. Its strength lies in its healthy fats, something very few fruits offer. Within its green, creamy flesh, the avocado is loaded with oleic acid, a monounsaturated fat that is also found in olive oil and has been widely studied for its anti-inflammatory effects. These fats help maintain the integrity of brain cell membranes, improve communication between neurons, and protect brain tissue from outside attacks. It is as if each cell in your brain were lubricated and strengthened when it receives this kind of good fat. But that is not all. Avocado also provides a good amount of vitamin E, a powerful natural antioxidant. Vitamin E is like a shield that protects neurons from oxidative stress, that silent process that damages our cells over time and is directly related to memory loss, mental slowness, and, in more advanced cases, even diseases such as Alzheimer's. Clinical studies have shown that a diet rich in vitamin E can reduce the risk of cognitive decline in older people by as much as 30%. But the most important thing is that the effects are noticeable not only in the long term, but also day to day. Better attention, more mental clarity, and greater ability to concentrate. Additionally, avocado contains choline, an essential nutrient that supports the production of acetylcholine, a key neurotransmitter in learning and memory processes. It also contains potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure, something vital for maintaining good brain circulation. When the brain receives a good amount of oxygen and nutrients thanks to stable pressure, everything works better, from mood to lucidity. Mrs. Clara, a 73-year-old patient of Dr. Caceres, used to feel foggy in the mornings. She could not organize her thoughts, got distracted easily, and had to reread each paragraph of the newspaper more than once. The doctor suggested adding half an avocado to breakfast. At first, she was skeptical. She thought it was too caloric and did not like its texture much, but she decided to try. Within a week, she already noticed the difference. She felt more focused, more awake, and also less anxious at the start of the day. The best part is that avocado fits into many dishes. You can spread half an avocado on a slice of whole grain bread, add a few drops of lemon and a pinch of salt. It is a simple, quick, and powerful breakfast. You can also cut it into cubes and mix it with tomato, onion, cucumber, and olive oil for a fresh salad. If you like sweet flavors, you can even use it as a base for a smoothie, along with banana and plant milk. Another interesting benefit is that avocado helps stabilize blood sugar, which also influences your mental state. When sugar levels rise and fall sharply, you can experience confusion, fatigue, irritability, and difficulty concentrating. Eating avocado helps keep those levels more stable during the day, providing a sense of sustained energy and steady mental clarity. Of course, as with everything, the key is the amount. Dr. Caceres suggests half an avocado a day, preferably at breakfast or lunch. In excess, it can add a lot of calories, but in the right amount, its benefits far outweigh any concern. Some people, after trying it regularly, say that not only do they think better, but they even sleep better, feel in a better mood, and have less brain fog. As Dr. Caceres says, the brain needs good allies, and the avocado is one of the most faithful you can have at the table. Now that you know the 3 most recommended fruits to protect your mind and improve your memory, it is important to talk about the other side of the coin. Because just as there are foods that help the brain, there are others that hinder it, overstimulate it, and make it more vulnerable. In the next section, I will tell you which fruits you should limit or avoid if you truly want to care for your long-term mental health. Fruits you should avoid if you want to maintain your memory. You already know the 3 fruits that help your brain the most. But there are also other types of fruits that, although they seem healthy, can end up affecting the health of your memory, especially if they are eaten frequently or without the right pairing. And here comes an important warning. This is not about demonizing any food. Every fruit has something to offer. But when we talk about older adults, people who have already passed 60 or 70, the body changes, metabolism slows down, and the brain becomes more sensitive to excesses, especially to sugar. Many people believe that all fruits are good simply because they are natural. But the truth is that some fruits have such a high glycemic index that they quickly raise blood sugar. And what does that have to do with memory? When blood sugar spikes and crashes sharply, the brain suffers. It becomes slower, clumsier, more scatterbrained. And if these peaks happen often, brain inflammation increases, which can favor memory loss in the medium term. Dr. Kakaris insists on this. It is not only about what you eat, but how your body reacts to what you eat. Let us now see which fruits you should avoid, or at least limit, if you really want to protect your mind. 1. Watermelon. Although it is refreshing and delicious, watermelon has one of the highest glycemic indexes among all fruits. That means that when you eat it, sugar is absorbed very quickly in the body, creating a spike that then drops sharply. And that quick up and down is a roller coaster the brain does not appreciate. Also, watermelon provides very little fiber. So unlike other fruits, it does not manage to balance sugar's impact. While you can have a small slice in summer, eating it every day or in large amounts can affect your mental clarity over time. 2. Very ripe banana. Banana is a nutritious fruit, yes. But when it is overly ripe, with the peel completely black or covered with spots, its sugar content increases considerably. That type of sugar, although natural, can generate the same effects as a candy: quick energy and then mental fatigue. If you decide to eat banana, choose those that are yellow with few spots, and always pair them with a source of protein or healthy fat, such as plain yogurt, nuts, or oats. That reduces sugar's impact on your body. 3. Fruit juices, even natural ones. This is one of the most common mistakes. Many people believe that drinking a freshly squeezed orange juice in the morning is an excellent way to start the day. But the reality is that a glass of natural juice contains as much sugar as a small soda. And the worst part, without the fiber that whole fruit has to regulate that load. When you drink juice, you are extracting and concentrating the sugar of several fruits without their benefits. The best choice will always be to eat whole fruit, chew it, feel its texture, and allow your body to process the food more calmly. 4. Fruits in syrup or dried with added sugar. Prunes, dried figs, dried mango. They sound natural, but many times they are loaded with added sugars that are not obvious at first glance. In addition, when water is removed, the sugar content per serving skyrockets. Eating a handful of dried fruit can equal 3 or 4 fresh fruits in sugar. If you're going to eat dried fruit, choose those without added sugar, have them in small portions, like a small handful, and always combine them with fiber or protein. 5. Canned fruit. Many times, canned fruit comes submerged in thick, sugary syrups, even those labeled light. That presentation can dangerously raise glucose levels in people with prediabetes or sugar sensitivity who often do not even know they have it. Dr. Kakaris's recommendation is clear. If a fruit does not look like its original form, it is better not to trust it. And he is right. The ideal will always be to choose fresh, seasonal fruits, whole, and in their most natural state possible. Now then, does this mean you must completely eliminate these fruits? Number. But it is important to be aware of how much and how you eat them. Because, as we have said from the start, the brain is very sensitive to extremes. What you are looking for is balance, and that begins with what you put on your plate each day. Knowing the fruits that benefit your memory is only the first step. What truly matters is how to turn that knowledge into a daily habit, something you can sustain over time without effort, without stress, and without having to change your diet completely. Dr. Kakaris insists on something very simple. You do not need a perfect diet. You need a consistent routine. Memory is not fed by miracles. It is fed by small daily actions. Let us now see how you can include these 3 fruits, blueberries, purple grapes, and avocado, at different times of the day, in a practical way, tailored to your tastes and needs. Because what matters is not only what you eat, but also when and how you eat it. Breakfast. Clean energy to wake up the mind. Your breakfast is your mind's starting point for the entire day. This is where you can easily include 2 of the most powerful brain fruits, avocado and blueberries. A simple, nutritious option is to prepare a slice of whole grain bread with half an avocado mashed on top. You can add a few drops of lemon, a pinch of sea salt, or even some chia seeds on top. This gives you healthy fats, vitamin E, and satiety for the whole morning. Pair that toast with a handful of fresh or frozen blueberries. You can eat them on their own, add them to plain yogurt, or mix them into cooked oats. If you use oats, cook them with water or unsweetened plant milk, and add the blueberries at the end to keep their properties. This breakfast is not only easy to prepare, it also stabilizes your blood sugar, improves your concentration, and keeps your mind alert, without that energy slump many people feel mid-morning. Mid-morning or afternoon snack, the ideal time for purple grapes. The brain needs fuel throughout the day, but not just any kind of fuel. Many people fall into the trap of sweets or cookies for a boost mid-morning or after a nap. But that only produces more brain fog and fatigue. Instead, a portion of purple grapes can be the perfect snack. Eat them slowly, one by one. That way you not only enjoy their flavor, but you allow their resveratrol to act calmly while it stimulates brain circulation. Dr. Kakaris suggests eating between 12 and 15 purple grapes a day, always with the skin, which is where the highest concentration of the antioxidant is found. You can eat them while you read, while you write, or while you have a tea. It is a simple ritual that helps reinforce memory and improves your ability to concentrate throughout the day. Lunch. A brain boost for the afternoon. Lunch is a perfect opportunity to repeat avocado. You can add it to a fresh salad with lettuce, tomato, onion, and a splash of olive oil. You can also prepare a small portion of homemade guacamole without mayonnaise or preservatives. Remember that avocado enhances the absorption of other nutrients, such as the lycopene in tomatoes or the carotenoids in carrots. It is a fruit that not only nourishes on its own, but also improves the effectiveness of everything that accompanies it. In older adults, it is common to feel a kind of mental sluggishness after lunch. Including avocado helps prevent that slump because it stabilizes glucose levels and provides fats that sustain mental energy without needing sugar. Dinner. Light but smart. At night, the body prepares to rest. But that does not mean you should give up caring for your mind. In fact, nighttime rest is essential for consolidating memory. If your dinner is very light, you can include a small handful of blueberries or a spoonful of mashed avocado if you have not eaten it yet that day. Avoid juices or very sweet fruits at night, as they can disrupt your sleep or unnecessarily elevate your sugar. Do you like to have something warm before bed? Make a chamomile or lemon balm infusion and pair it with some grapes or a slice of whole grain bread with avocado. It is a way of telling your body it is time to relax and to prepare to remember better the next day. Extra tip: the importance of variety and emotional preparation. One of the most common mistakes when trying to change your diet is wanting to do everything at once. Changing habits is not about perfection, it is about consistency. You do not have to eat all 3 fruits every day if you cannot. It is enough to include them several times a week on a regular basis. The most important thing is to build a routine that feels natural, without stress or a sense of obligation. Make a list and put it in your kitchen. Did I eat blueberries today? Did I include avocado today? Did I eat purple grapes with the skin today? Those small, visible and friendly reminders help you keep your direction without slipping into forgetfulness. As Dr. Kakaris always says, the brain is not cared for with willpower. It is cared for with kindness, with repetition, and with daily attention. And remember, if one day you forget or do not have access to a fruit, nothing happens. What counts is the sum of many days, not the perfection of a single one. Throughout this video, we have traveled a path you might not have expected. We started with a simple question: why is it getting harder for us to remember? And we arrived at a powerful conclusion. Memory is not lost completely. It can be protected and strengthened, even in old age. And one of the most powerful tools to achieve that is within everyone's reach: daily food. We talked about 3 fruits that not only nourish the body, but also feed the mind and the soul. Blueberries, small but giant in antioxidant power. They protect the brain from the wear of time, from inflammation, and from forgetfulness. They are like invisible shields that guard your memories. Purple grapes, rich in resveratrol, which improve circulation, awaken concentration, and oxygenate your thoughts. Chewing them slowly while you read or chat is a simple way to gift health to your mind. Avocado, with its good fats and its vitamin E, which lubricates neural connections and reinforces your mental agility. It is food, but it is also natural medicine for your brain. But this video was not only about fruits. It was about reclaiming power over your mind. Because perhaps you were told that with age only loss comes, that it is inevitable to forget things, that the normal thing is to become slower, clumsier, or more dependent. But that is not true. Dr. Kakaris has seen hundreds of older people challenge those beliefs, people who, with small changes, have improved their memory, their energy, their clarity, and most importantly, they have regained confidence in themselves. And you can do it too. No one says it is easy. Changing habits, adopting new routines, learning to eat with intention, all of that requires resolve. But it is also true that it is never too late to start taking better care of yourself. It is never too late to give your brain a chance. It is never too late to tell yourself, today, I am going to do something for me. Sometimes caring for memory is not just about remembering data. It is also about remembering who you are, where you come from, what you have lived, and what you still have left to live. Caring for your mind is caring for your story. And every spoonful, every fruit, every small gesture counts. Also remember what we discussed about the fruits that are better to avoid or limit. Watermelon in excess, overly ripe banana, juices without fiber, dried fruits with added sugar, and sweetened preserves. They are not poison, but they are not allies either if you eat them without control. The key is balance. And if at any time you feel you cannot do it alone, ask for help. Share this video with your children, your grandchildren, your friends. Let them know you are committed to your health, that you are making conscious decisions. Sometimes the best way to inspire others is to start by caring for yourself. You do not need big changes, just consistency, just one fruit at a time. Before we finish, I want you to take with you one last reflection from Dr. Kakaris. The brain is like a garden. If you do not water it, if you do not nourish it, if you do not care for it, it dries up. But if you tend to it every day, even with a small gesture, it blooms, even with years behind it. So, which fruit are you going to eat tomorrow to water your garden? I have already given you the tools. The next step is yours. And now, I would love to get to know you a little more. Tell me in the comments how old you are and from where in the world you are watching me. It does not matter if you are 60, 70, or 80. What matters is that you are here, seeking to learn, improve, and grow. That, in itself, is an act of youth. Thank you for staying until the end. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell to receive more tips on health, memory, and well-being after 60. See you in the next video. And always remember, your mind deserves the same care as your body. Feed it with love every day.